right, we are going to kick off our race day media availabilities here with Kyle Larson, driver of the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. If you have a question for Kyle, please raise your hand. We will get a wireless microphone to you. Who would like to start us off? All right, we'll start with Dustin.
Dustin Albino, JC.com. Hey, Kyle, the race for the championship docu-series debuts this week, and you're part of that. What was that like, and why was it important to be a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, honestly, I really haven't had to do a whole lot with it. I think they came to my house one morning and maybe followed us around at Millbridge or something one night. And then other than that, I think they've just been collecting a lot of stuff from behind the scenes, like from a distance. So it's been nice that it hasn't been like in our face with cameras all the time. So honestly, I don't even know what they've captured. So I'm excited to see it next week, I think, and I hope it'll turn out really good, and I hope all the fans will really enjoy it.
Okay, let's go to Greg and then Holly.
Ironically, I'm working on the story for that we talked about the other day. Thank you very much for that. But how was Orlando being able to go over there with the family? I know you were looking forward to that, and hopefully you got some good time away from the track with the family.
Yeah, no, it was good. We always go to Disney in February, and I've been gone so much and away from the family so much the last couple months that I wanted to spend some time with them, and forgot how hot Florida is this time of year. So I think we were all dying yesterday. But I was happy that qualifying rained out so I could stay there and spend more time with them, and had a really fun time. So not sure I'll go back ever again in August, but I look forward to getting back in February.
Go to Holly.
Hi, Kyle. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. That's why we native Floridians are not there in August, by the way.
So. Yeah, it's a slow time of year, they say, so makes
exactly.
sense.
There's a reason. I wanted to ask you the million-dollar question, kind of what your expectations are for the race. Do you think this is going to be with so much on the line for some people and other drivers that have been good? There are a lot of past winners that are still past Daytona winners that are still looking for that win and that shot into the playoffs. What are your expectations going in? Do you think the race will be more exciting, if that's possible, than usual, or a little calmer?
I'm not sure. I mean, the only way for those guys to make it in the playoffs that aren't currently in the playoffs is to win. So with that, I feel like, the first couple stages could be very tame, just because a lot of those drivers are probably trying to just get to the end of the race to have a shot. But then, I mean, it could be crazy and wild all race long. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I hope, no matter how it is, that we're in front of the craziness. But I know at the end of the race it'll get it's as it always does, whether it's the cutoff race or not. Daytona, Talladega, they always get wild. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to kind of follow along and see what guys are fast, and if there's a couple big crashes to wipe out guys, it could shake things up a lot. So we'll see. Yeah, I think for us, in our position, we're second in the regular season points right now, but there's probably 4 of us, I think, that are really close to finishing second. So because of that, I feel like we need to go after stage points to do our part to finish second. So our plan's to race the whole time and just try and stay up front and get some points.
Let's go to Bob and then Daniel.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. If you do end up not racing tonight and end up racing in like the afternoon, how does it change the style of this race, if at all?
Yeah, good question. I'm not sure. This place is, handling will be more of a factor for sure, during the day than at night. I always feel like, just the whole track is slicker, but I feel like turn 4 gets really tight. So I don't know. I don't remember us really being on track at all much earlier this year with the sun out. And then Talladega, handling's not usually a big deal there. So the cars drove really well there, gripped up. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll play a factor, as it always does. But how it affects the race, I'm not really sure.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Dale McFadden, Frontstretch.com. Kyle, I got two questions for you. First, you have 4 super speedway races with this car so far. Like, so heading in today, what kind of understanding or what kind of grasp do you kind of have on what this car does with this Kyle racing?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think it feels way different than the other stuff. I feel like you have to do a better job, or you have to like hit your marks as far as green flag cycles and getting on pit road and getting off pit road even more than the other car. I feel like, when you're in a big pack, it's easy, not easy, but you're not as likely to lose the pack. But as soon as you get shaking things up with green flag stops and stuff, then it gets kind of strung out for a lap or two, and it seems really easy to lose the draft in that sense. So you need to be on your game for that type of thing. So other than that, I don't feel like it races way different.
Okay, second question is, a couple of weeks ago on like social media, there was a picture going around, I don't know if you saw it or not, of what appears to be you at the 1999 World of Outlaws Championships in Las Vegas, holding up a sign saying, "All I want for X is my 2 front teeth." So I was just wondering, did you see that at all?
Yeah, I did. Ross Weiss, he actually texted me the little clip of it before we ever put it on social media. So yeah, that was really cool to see, and I sent it to my mom, and she was obviously proud because she was always trying to get me on TV, no matter where we were at, whether it be a basketball game or something. So I'm sure she's got it recorded already somewhere before he ever sent it to us. So, but no, it was cool to see, and yeah, I don't know. It's fun to look back on videos like that.
What do you remember about attending that event, if anything at all?
I don't remember anything about that. I honestly forgot that they even used to have their championship in Vegas. So, yeah, I was only 7 then, so I vaguely maybe remember that sign. I don't remember like the moment of me holding it. I feel like I remember, maybe remember my mom or dad or whoever was making the sign in the parking lot probably. But I've been to hundreds of races, probably thousands of races at this point since then, so it's hard to remember all the way back then.
Any additional questions for Kyle? Okay.
Blake Ulino, the podium finish. 2 questions for you. First is, can you describe a lap around Daytona? You mentioned turn 4 feeling tight going into it, but can you describe what it's like, the differences between being in the midfield and then leading the race, or being in open air?
Well, in open air, any of you could do it. In the middle of the pack, it gets really hectic. Your car's kind of not really necessarily does its own thing, but you can feel the air a lot more, and like the disturbance of the air. You can feel runs. You can feel the runs stall out a lot. Where when you get out to the lead, you always feel like you're going really slow, even though you're going just as fast as the guys behind you when you're in the middle pack, and it feels like you're going fast. So it's a lot quieter out front. It's just once you get out front, your car obviously handles a lot better because it's got clean air on it. But then you're not really looking out the windshield as much. You're looking in the rearview mirror a lot of times. So. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I haven't seen the lead on Super Speedway very often, but it's definitely a little quieter and less going on out front. Like I said, your car handles a little bit better.
Thank you. And then second question, Daniel Suarez mentioned yesterday balancing focus and emotion. How much of a challenge is that to make sure that you're in the right places during the playoff season?
For the playoffs, you're talking about, not just for the Super Speedway race, or?
Yes, for today and for the overall in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for a Super Speedway race, yes, I think. I don't know. I don't typically get too emotional anyways, so that's not ever a problem for me. But staying focused sometimes and making sure you're trying to make the right moves is tough to do a lot of times because runs are happening quick. The gaps are really small that you're trying to get into. So trying to stay focused on, risk versus reward, but also trying to position yourself for the end of the race is important. And then, a little bit of that goes into, just each race and race by race, especially in the playoffs, just trying to put yourself in the right spot at the right time and weigh in risk versus reward, and just trying to maximize your day and get as many points as you can, just like you would at any super speed race.
Come up front to Jeff.
If it's going to be a rainy next few hours, what do you do all afternoon? How do you spend your time?
We were just watching Disney Plus in the motorhome before I came here. We were at Epcot for a lot of it yesterday, and found some video. My daughter, she really likes the zombies movies, and there was like some fun like challenge thing that they had going on in there. So at Epcot, so we had that pulled up before I came here. So probably a lot of Disney Plus.
So you're going to be in a bus with two small children. All afternoon.
Oh, and I think he's at MRO right now, but he'll probably find his way to the motorhome and be bugging us. So yeah, we'll be watching movies or something.
All right, let's go to Dalton and then to Lee.
Kyle Don Hopkins of FrontStretch.com. At this point of the season last year, you already had 5 wins, and it was a dominant season for you. This year, you have 2. Do you just attribute just the lack, I guess I could say, less success this year to just the fact that the next-gen car is much more parity, or is there something else?
I think definitely the little bit of parity, but you still see a lot of the same good guys running up front. With us, it's really just been a lack of execution. I would say most weekends, we've only had a few, probably less than 5, like really clean races where nothing happened, and we finished where we deserved. Whether it be just bad restarts or bad pit stops or a missed call for strategy, something we just haven't executed the best. So last year we had a fast car, and that makes everything execution wise a lot easier with pit calls and pit stops and restarts and all that. So the parity probably plays a big role in it, but just us as a team, until recently, I feel like haven't done the best jobs a lot of time, and that's been an area where we've tried to work on really hard all season long. It's just hard to do sometimes, but like I said, I feel like lately we've been getting our stuff together, and last week was a great week to get a win, and you'll roll on into the playoffs with some momentum, hopefully.
Okay, we're going to go to Kelly and then go back. Oh, I'm sorry, Lee first. Go ahead, Lee.
It's okay. You have wins at 2 of the first races in the first round of the playoffs. Darlington, you had an engine failure there in the spring. What's it going to take at Darlington to, have a better performance here, other that short of your engine not failing?
Yeah, we had a really fast car earlier this year before we blew up. So the first round has a lot of really good tracks for us. I think, Darlington, Kansas, Bristol, maybe. So those are honestly probably, 3 of my best racetracks. So I really like that round. Hopefully we can do well in it and get some wins, and get some bonus points would be nice. I've always ran really well at Darlington. Have not gotten a win there yet. Finished second 3 times in a row before we blew up this year. So would love to be one spot better there and finally get that Darlington win that I feel like I've been close to getting.
Okay, we'll go to Kelly.
Kelly Cronin, Racer.com. Kyle, Talladega in the spring, as you mentioned, was probably the cleanest and calmest super speedway race you've had.
Ever.
Yeah. Did you learn anything in that race? Anything that stands out that you'll try to apply going forward? Maybe just, did you feel more comfortable in the draft, or is there anything that stands out?
No, I just, I don't know. Not really anything happened. We had great track position the whole race, and I had never once left the bottom lane. So I think if anything that I learned, and I think it doesn't. You can't just go into each super speedway with the mindset I'm just going to be patient the whole time. But with us being up front at Talladega, I just stayed patient the whole time, and I literally did not move off the bottom the whole race until I did, and that's what lost me the race. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I have that same mindset going into tonight's race, but like I said, it could be way different. This track is narrower. The importance of this race for a lot of other drivers is different, compared to when Talladega earlier in the year. So, it's hard you can't show up, I think, to every race with the same mindset and have the same results throughout the whole race. So, but I will say, since it worked last time, that's my mindset right now, but it could change early on.
Okay, we'll take one final question.
Hey, Kyle. I'm Andy DeLay with Burning Rubber Radio. Sitting here on our Facebook group here from the Land of NASCAR Outcast, Floyd Upgrove, he wanted to know, you're speaking about dirty air. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the dirty air from last weekend and how Hendrick Motorsports, you and especially Chase Elliott, are going to work together tonight after last week?
Dirty air at Watkins Glen was a little bit tight through the S's, and other than that, it wasn't too bad. So, a road course is different and than a super speedway, so it should be fine.
All right, Kyle, thank you for your time, and good luck later tonight.
Thanks.